Friendship, it's sort of the best. I always like it when people get along, whether it's Zuko and Katara, Momo and Appa, or Legend of Korra and the Last Airbender fans. But the best friendship is the kind we get behind the scenes, and it looks like the original creators of the show, DiMartino and Bryan Konietzko, might be warming up to a certain upcoming project on Netflix. Hey folks, my name is Antoine, Bandele, your resident geek, giving you theories and discussion for all things Avatar, and today let's talk about the latest news dropping from Avatar News and what I feel about it. Quick note, I will mostly be using pictures in today's videos because I have to edit very quickly since I'm celebrating my birthday at an amusement park today. But yesterday, Avatar News reported that the Netflix live-action adaptation will have way more expanded universe material than we thought, and that material is coming directly from Avatar Studios. Prior to this report, I have basically separated everything that was Netflix as something entirely different from the new material we are gonna get from Avatar Studios. It's almost like we have divorced parents who have shared custody of the kids. While that's still mostly true, what I didn't realize is how much information is being shared between the two. First, let's establish the two sides. On one end, we have Paramount, who is the parent company to Avatar Studios. On the other end, we have Netflix, which acts sort of like a parent company to Rideback, or at the very least an overwatcher, if not a direct parent. Paramount is responsible for all the new canon for Avatar, which includes the original TV series, both Airbender and Korra, as well as the comic books and novels. By the way, if you want to support this channel, you can totally get a free trial from Audible by using the link on the screen, or description box below. You can listen to any of the Avatar books up there. I highly recommend The Rise of Kyoshi. You can see me gushing about that in this video. Anyway, back to this video. On the Netflix Ryback side of things, they are only responsible for the live-action adaptation of The Last Airbender at this current time, unlike Avatar Studios, which is overwatching all the new canon. For the longest time, places like IMDb, production listings, and VFX Studios websites have stated that Avatar Studios and Nickelodeon are the production companies behind the Netflix adaptation. With IMDb, we have to take that with a grain of salt, as just like with Wikipedia, anyone with an IMDb account can go in and change information on that site. But with regards to official production listings and VFX Studios, we might have some legit stuff there. But even then, it should be noted that all of this could merely relate to legalities, not creative endeavors, which was brought up by my fellow Avatuber, The Objective Geek. And generally, I agree with him. After Mike and Brian had their falling out with Netflix, it's very likely that future live-action adaptations after The Last Airbender may revert to the original creators instead of going to Netflix. And even then, we're not sure since we don't even know the contracts between all these major companies. I just hope that we don't get into a situation like we have between Marvel and Sony with regards to Spider-Man, where the character is in constant limbo when it comes to the canon of the current Marvel Cinematic Universe. But that doesn't seem to be the case here with Avatar Studios and Netflix. The real story here is that the live-action show will be pulling from the true canon of Avatar Studios. We already got wind of this with the story about the expanded role of Avatar Karuk when Aang enters the spirit world to find Ko the Face Stealer. We've also heard that the actress playing Avatar Kyoshi, Yvonne Chapman, has read all the Kyoshi books, with the possibility that the story might be incorporated into the show due to the reported expanded role of Avatar Kyoshi in the first book of Avatar. What is new to us, however, is that canon material that has yet to even be released from Avatar Studios will appear in the live-action show. For example, Katara and Sokka's home is named Wolf Cove in the live-action show, whereas in the original, it was just their home village with no name. The interesting part about this is that we, as the fandom, did not know this information until the recent Avatar Legends role-playing game released for Kickstarter backers last year in 2022, and the scene in question was filmed during November 2021. This means that Avatar Studios is providing new material to the live-action show before the material is even known by the public. So, theoretically, any new additions in the live-action show can indicate things that could be canon going forward within Avatar Studios. But Avatar News tells us that this does not mean anything new in the show will necessarily be canon in the main timeline of Avatar Studios, but at least some of the new material could carry over in future animated projects. Some fans might be confused by all of this. For example, Jordan Swinson on my Twitter questioned how all of this is going to work. One, so when referring to canon in this new adaptation, they saying the OG ATLA is no longer canon? Or two, are they adding canon material that they never got to put into the OG ATLA? And yeah, that's kind of what's happening here. Or three, is this live action ATLA and OG ATLA one and the same? No, it absolutely is not one and the same. Four, them saying the canon material they'll show in the live action ATLA will be featured in the animated Avatar Studios projects. Does this mean this Netflix project is canon to most of the animated stuff, even though it's a different take? Yeah, I guess it is kind of complicated when you think about it like that, but no, think about it as separate things. It's really not that deep. The Netflix adaptation and the future animated works via Avatar Studios are still separate. They may feed off one another, but they do not inform the continuity of each other in their works. Think of the live action almost like an alternate timeline in the Avatarverse. But as I said from the start, the big takeaway here is that there seems to be actual communication between these two companies as opposed to what felt like a clash between the two, at least to me. And Avatar News says it best. This info comes from both my Netflix and Paramount sources, and I had to say that it was really nice to write something that brings both sides together, because there really aren't sides. I've only ever heard good things about Avatar Studios from Netflix and good things about Netflix from Avatar Studios. They each only have to gain from the other doing well. And now we know they're collaborating together to make the live action show, the first new big Avatar franchise release since Korra ended in 2014, as good as it can be. Make no mistake, it's still Netflix's own show created by Albert Kim, and necessarily its own thing because it's an adaptation. But I think the takeaway is that at the end of the day, it's all Avatar. And while it is true that the original creators have been entirely quiet on Netflix since they parted ways, the executives still seem to be working together, and that's all gravy to me. Like I said before, let's be like Zuko and Katara, Momo and Appa. We all love Avatar and want to see the best of it, no matter if it's drawn, computer generated, or filmed. That's it. What do you think about this collaboration between Avatar Studios and Netflix? Do you think they should be completely separate things, or do you like that they give and take from one another? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Avatar content just like this. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.